Hello and welcome. I'm Maria Kliavkov. I'm President and CEO of Healthy Morning Revolution and Healthy Morning Publications. I'm the author of Healthy Morning, Happy Loving, and it's my great honor and privilege to be here with you. I am committed to making sure that I work with people who experience being stuck in their grief. Grief is a hard journey, and it is my great honor and privilege to be able to walk with people who are stuck in their grief so that they can reclaim their memories, they can reconnect to their love, and they can recommit to a life of joy, because that is possible even if we can't imagine or envision it. So I have started this resource review where once a week I come on to the YouTube to create a video that tells you about a resource that I use personally, that I recommend to my clients, that they have gotten a lot of use out of. And so this month, the month of June, is going to be Dr. Alan Wolfelt month. So every week I'm going to be reviewing a different book by my teacher and mentor, Dr. Alan Wolfelt. And it is my great pleasure to introduce you today to the book that I probably have sent to more friends and family, and I have recommended to more clients than any other single book. And that is, well, of course, other than my own book, and that is Grief One Day at a Time. Grief One Day at a Time is a beautiful book that is very short and sweet. It's one page at a time, so 365, what he says here is 365 meditations to help you heal after loss. And it's so beautiful because these are little nuggets. Each day is a little sweet, wonderful nugget. It starts with a quote, then it goes on for a description and just a nugget of teaching, if you will. And what I love about it is that these nuggets are helpful and they're digestible, so that you are able to sit with the information and reflect on the information. And then at the very bottom of the page, I don't know if you can see here, there's then an affirmation at the bottom of the page. So I wanted to read to you June 1st because I think it's just such a beautiful nugget of teaching and a wonderful way to launch Dr. Alan Wolfelt month with the resources. So here we go. June 1st. Grief is like manure. If you spread it out, it fertilizes. If you leave it in a big pile, it smells like crap. That's a quote from Tom Golden. What Dr. Wolfelt says about that is, by all means then, let's spread out our grief. We do that in two ways. One essential way is by actively mourning. If our grief is a big lump inside of us, we spread it out by expressing it daily outside of ourselves. We seek out ways to declare our thoughts and feelings and to take advantage of such opportunities when they arise by happenstance. We let it out piece by piece. And all of you who have worked with me, you know that I'm a great proponent of converting grief to mourning. And a lot of my teaching is about the distinction between grief and mourning, and learning how to do just this. How little bits at a time to convert our grief to mourning and to listen to the guidance of our grief so that we can convert it to mourning. And exactly as he says here, piece by piece, bit by bit, that's how we get there. The other way we spread out our grief is by dosing ourselves with it. We can't take on all of our grief at once. It's too big, too painful, and too powerful. So we spread it out, encountering it a bit at a time and allowing ourselves to retreat from it the rest of the time. We're not denying, we're surviving. This too is normal and necessary. What a beautiful teaching, to remind us that it's okay to dose, that we couldn't possibly handle grief all at once. It's an impossibility. We need to take the time, the space, the breath, the grace to step back and to step away from it. So the affirmation at the bottom of the page for June 1st is, I will spread out my grief through mourning and dosing. In these ways, my grief will ultimately make my life richer and more lush. And so it is. That's just the truth of it. It's the truth of the grief journey. So my hope is that this is of support and help to you. If you're looking for how to get this, I will put a link for this book and this resource so that you can connect with it. I'll put it into the description section of this video. I also invite you to come and visit me at healthymorning.com. There you'll find all other sorts of resources. You'll also find a link to the Healthy Morning Revolution live launch. The next live launch, you can register simply by clicking on the button. It's a 9-day free workshop with me, and the whole purpose of it is to teach the difference between grief and mourning and to help you understand the pathways of converting grief to mourning. So I hope that you will take advantage of that. Finally, if you found this useful, if you'd like to hear more about the different resources that we're talking about, if you'd like to get notified when there's a new video available, and of course I do videos on all sorts of topics other than the resources, I invite you to click below. I'm pointing, I'm hoping I'm getting close to where the button is, to subscribe. Subscribe to Healthy Morning channel so that you can get these videos right away. I wish you much love in your journey, and just know that you're not alone in it. Take care. Namaste.